number we are talking about the user training. So far we have completed the development activity and testing activity. Now, before we go live, we need to give training to the end users. And part of this end user training delivery, the functional consultants for the respective solutions, FI guys, MM guys will work with their business users or end users, and will give them training on how to maintain the data in the SAP production system, because they do not know anything about SAP, the users, and you need to teach them how they should maintain data in the SAP system. And that is where the training comes into picture. And part of this training below are the activities we are doing. First, we need to kickstart the training activity. So any phase of the project, always there would be a kickstart, there would be a sign off. So we have to kickstart the training. Then mandatorily both the side training teams needs to be formed for each process. Let's say SD, sales order team is there, master data team is there, then the billing team is there, delivery team is there, field team is there, wherever which team is part of the business, all these teams, you need to provide them the training. And from our side, for our respective solutions, the functional consultants will give the end user training. So for that, we are forming the teams from both the side, training team from the consulting side, training team from the user side or business side. And once the teams are formed, then we are going for the training calendar creation. Which date or this week, how many processes will deliver training, which under location will deliver training, goal are the users will be delivering training. So this is something called training calendar. Training landscape is nothing but, again, already you know, to deliver the training we have a separate system, which is your training client under the quality server. And in this training client, we'll be showing them, we'll be showing the transactions to the users, and also they will be doing the creations. And that is where we need training system access, and this training landscape will be created by the basis team, and they will be like giving access to all the stakeholders, not only the users, all the consultants, whoever would be delivering the training, for them also the system access needs to be given. So that is training system access. Next is training presentation and material. Remember, tomorrow if you are the consultant and you are delivering training for the, let's say, master data creation in SD, that is the training. So how you create, you have to teach the users how you create master data, let's say customer master in SAP SD system. And for that, you have to start, like you have to prepare the presentations that you can take them through, and they can at least understand what customer master is, how you create customer master, what are the mandatory fields, optional fields, whatever, like complete process. So you have to show them in the system, and that is your, basically you have to create the presentations or materials, how you want to deliver training, because you cannot do it just blindly. You have to show them the content also. Apart from that, even in the system also, training system, you will run the transaction in front of them. One by one, you will show them how you are maintaining the customer data or how you are creating a customer in SD system. The same steps, again, they need to follow. And that is where you have to give them the assessment paper, or you will be giving them tasks saying you also create at least, let's say, 3-4 customers to get acquainted with the newly built system. And that is where the assessment comes into picture. And when you are giving the assessments, you check which user is able to understand, which user is not able to understand. Whoever needs your support as a functional consultant, you have to support them. And if required, certain time what happens, certain resources will be not there, or the training was not fruitful, or they didn't they didn't understand the activity that you have performed, and that is where we'll go for the follow-up training if required. Follow-up training again will teach them how to maintain the data, and once they are happy, then the training for that particular process, training is over. And against that training activity, you will get feedback from the business users saying how was the training activity, whether you have learned how to maintain the customer data, whether the consultant was knowledgeable, whether the consultant was technically sound, whether the attitude and behavior of the consultant was good or not. Everything you will be getting part of the feedback, training feedback, which is 1 to 10. The maximum would be 10, minimum would be 1. And once you get the training feedback, it will be assessed for the further things, whether the delivery of training was like good or bad. That is the complete process we follow to deliver the training. How I am delivering training, the similar fashion you also have to deliver training to the users. And as a functional consultant, this is one important area in the final preparation you will be working mandatorily. You will be creating training materials, you will be working with the users, you will get in touch with the users, you will send them the meeting invite for whichever date you are going to give the training, and then give them the process knowledge, give them the system knowledge, and show them how you are creating in the system. And after that, you ask them, you also create, and they will create. Once they are thorough with the system, once they are thorough with the transaction, then we say training is over. And for every training activity, we are getting the feedback from the users. So this is the complete process you have when you have to deliver the user training. That is understood.